This video is sponsored by Oceanwide Expeditions. We began our second day with a foggy early morning passage through the famed Lemaire Channel on the way to our next landing site in Antarctica. Good morning. We are on day 2 on the Antarctic Peninsula. This location is called Petermann Island. There's an old Argentine research hut right here, and this area has basically Gentoo penguins everywhere, including around the research hut here. We might find some Adelie penguins still nesting here with chicks. They nest a little earlier, and most have probably headed back out to sea, but if there's any stragglers, that's primarily what I'm going to go look for. This is a pretty nice location because unlike yesterday when we were kind of grouped together, people can spread out here and explore a little bit and kind of go just look for stuff on their own. And yeah, there's a Gentoo taking a bath right there. So tons of penguins right here, beautiful morning, a little bit of snow. Well, I got detoured here a little bit, decided to wait on a few shots, see if I could get a little wing flap as one of the birds was clean and getting out of the water, and got a couple of those. Pretty cool to watch them all coming down to bathe in this little pond. It's hard to want to go very far. It's pretty amazing just to stay in one spot and watch these little guys. Yeah, so let's go look for some Adelie penguins. Well, I just found a spot here that has the kind of shot that I was really hoping to get on this trip. It's just a nice layered landscape in a penguin colony where you've got the dramatic mountains suggested in the background. It's a nice penguin colony with all this texture of rocks and whatnot, and then a nice little few line of penguins walking in the foreground. Really cool little spot, and hopefully going to be a nice image. This is another really incredibly beautiful spot, an amazing place to see. The Adelies were pretty messy and kind of far away, and the light's pretty muddy, so I decided to focus more on the Gentoos mostly, which are also very dirty. But just really spectacular place to be. So I think that's going to be about it for trying to vlog here. Misty rain coming in and trying to handle a couple cameras. So that was a quick little visit to Petermann Island and this really awesome Gentoo colony with a few Adelies. And back to the boat, and we'll see what we're going to do this afternoon. Over the next 3 days, we continued our exploration of the peninsula on land and by zodiac. Cruising the bays and nearshore waters provided some of our most memorable moments with wildlife and some great photo opportunities. searched the ice-choked waters around Danko Island for seals and found 3 species hauled out, sleeping on the ice. 2 Weddell seals were particularly good photographic subjects. One was unobstructed on an ice floe, and the ice itself provided a bounce light that helped illuminate the seal in the heavy overcast conditions. Another individual, loafing on some rocks, had a beautiful spotted pelage, and its surroundings made for both wide and tight compositions. Having my 100 to 400 zoom lens provided the flexibility to cover this beautiful individual in a variety of ways quickly. We also encountered our first leopard seals, a big charismatic seal, and one of Antarctica's apex predators. We also experienced the playful side of these intelligent animals on several occasions when leopard seals approached our zodiacs for extended periods and showed their power and grace underwater. And peered at us from the surface from time to time. In Sierra Cove, we had some of our best photo opportunities with icebergs. On most days, the skies had been quite white, but on this day, it provided a dark, dramatic backdrop to the scene, and we positioned the Zodiac to take advantage of it with several icebergs. Combining the scene with another leopard seal was a bonus. I stood and held my camera high above my head for this angle. This unforgettable leopard seal also provided some of my favorite wildlife photos of the trip. A big, stunning individual in excellent light. At Palaver Point, another penguin highway was transporting Chinstrap penguin parents with bellies full of fish and krill from the waters down below to their chicks high up in the rocks. Hey everybody, this is my last dispatch probably. I am at a Chinstrap penguin colony in another one of these just phenomenal landscapes that they've chosen to nest in on this rocky outcrop surrounded by mountains and glaciers and everything else like we've seen over and over in this trip. This is our last stop before we're going to head out tonight and start crossing the Drake Passage back to Ushuaia in Argentina. So this is our last time on land, and then we'll be back out at sea. And these Chinstrap penguins are wrapping it up too. It's right towards the end of the breeding season. The chicks are near fledging age in various states of crazy molt and covered in mud and guano. So it's a pretty filthy scene out here, and still some raucous adults kind of announcing their territory and being quite noisy back there. So this has been a pretty phenomenal journey. Obviously it started out pretty rough with the weather and the disappointments at the Falklands in South Georgia, but we did a really good job. The expedition team and leadership has just been outstanding at identifying locations that potentially protected, and just having an intimate knowledge of the place and getting us to places despite some really difficult weather. So we still managed to have a lot of really amazing experiences despite not being able to visit all the locations that we originally planned to. But this latter half of the trip here on the Antarctic Peninsula, the weather has just been absolutely amazing. The landscape everywhere you look is just massive and breathtaking. The scale, you know, every time I look through my camera and then I look with my eyes, that, you know, the scale of actually being here and seeing it yourself, everything just looms in a way that's impossible to convey. It's just huge and rugged and beautiful everywhere you look. I'm really happy Oceanwide invited me to come along on this expedition. This is definitely the kind of... Skoo is flying over. This is the kind of company and the kind of group that I would always want to travel with. If you're into natural history or seriously into photography or into birding and you want to maximize your time ashore, this smaller boat with only 100 passengers, so everyone can go on shore every day when we have a landing. And basically when the weather's good, we've had 3.5 hour landings every day. So that's been a good amount of time on shore. And generally, it doesn't matter when the meal times are. If the weather's good and we have an opportunity, we go. So this is a company that's really focused on the experience, the natural history experience, and the adventure exploration. And obviously still provides great food and service and great staff. But the focus is not luxury and cruising, it's wildlife and exploration and the experience outdoors. So I really thank them for inviting me on this trip and hosting me. Thank you, Oceanwide. And I can't wait to come back down here again. I'm just going to enjoy these Chinstrap penguins a bit longer and this otherworldly, amazing landscape. And I think I will bid you farewell and see you next time.